now, in its efforts to expand, ISIL has been luring recruits in Somalia. The month-long drive by the group is geared at the formation of a branch in the Eastern African nation. Somalia holds potentially huge rewards for the extremism group. This, as Somalia is a marginally government nation with the continent's longest coastline, bordering 3 U.S. allies, Ethiopia, Djibouti and Kenya. In October, an influential Muslim cleric, Abdiqadir Mumin, announced that he had joined the group and was bringing at least 20 of his followers with him. Al-Shabaab has threatened death on anyone who joins ISIL. So far, the group has not sent fighters or resources into Somalia, but its image appears to have grown among militants. Well, let's now get more on this, and to discuss this further, I'm joined by Abdulaziz Bello. He's live for us in Mogadishu. Abdulaziz, do we have the numbers, like how many people has ISIL managed to recruit so far, and who exactly are they targeting?
Well, Beatrice, indeed, the ISIL influence has become a major concern here in Mogadishu and in Somalia in general. We don't have any exact number of fighters who have joined ISIL or already who have pledged allegiance, rather, to the Islamic State militants who are fighting in Syria and Iraq. But all we know is that the group, the ISIL group, has been releasing videos, video messages rather, calling on the armed militants here in Somalia, Al-Shabaab, to pledge allegiance and join them. And the majority of the Al-Shabaab, who are based in the vast south-central region of Somalia, are pro-Al-Qaeda, and they are Al-Qaeda affiliated extremist group who are fighting in Somalia, and they have fought really hard to maintain that they are an Al-Qaeda proxy, and they have challenged the number of commanders and fighters who have tried to pledge allegiance to ISIL. They have threatened them with death, and the only top commander in the Al-Shabaab ranks who has actually come forward to pledge allegiance to ISIL is Sheikh Mumin. Now, Sheikh Mumin is based in the autonomous region of Puntland, that is to the northeast of Somalia. But the overall leadership of the Al-Shabaab, who are stationed in south-central Somalia, have said time and again that they remain an Al-Qaeda proxy and that they will remain that same way. Now, the ISIL militants are targeting, most of their targets here in Somalia are not just the local Somali Al-Shabaab, but they are targeting the foreign fighters who are actually based here in the country from several African countries, some from the Arab countries who are here fighting alongside the Al-Shabaab. So they are trying to tell the Al-Shabaab that ISIL is the better group than the Al-Qaeda, in that it has incorporated a number of foreign fighters who are drawn from all across the world, and they are brought together under the umbrella of ISIL. They are trying to send that message to the Al-Shabaab so that the Al-Shabaab can be able to expand its reach and also attack more countries within Africa.
Well, that certainly is a worrying development in Somalia itself. But what is the government doing to try and fight the recruitment, and not just by ISIL, but also by Al-Shabaab and any other militant group that may be upcoming?
Well, indeed, in an interview the president we had earlier this week, the president of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, said that the Al-Qaeda or ISIL or the Al-Shabaab, they are, quote, evil forces that his government and the African Union partners are willing to deal with and to eliminate them from Somalia. The government here in Somalia doesn't have a clear plan for the young people so that they cannot be able to join the militant group ISIL. But recently, the government held a national youth conference here in Mogadishu that brought together the country's youth from all the regional states here in Somalia and some from the diaspora, so that the youth of Somalia can be able to be given a fair share of a say in politics and in governance and in the administration, so that they can be able to counter the way that young people are being brainwashed into joining militant groups. So the Prime Minister of Somalia, who was at that event, said that his government is willing to give the youth a chance to be able to govern the country and to create awareness programs that will be able to help the youth counter the ideology of joining other militant groups. But the government in general doesn't have a clear policy on the youth, because the unemployment rate in the country here has made some of the youths leave the country, and also the Al-Shabaab in the regions that they control where young people are, they have forced them to join the militant group. And the government here says that it's willing to give the armed group a chance to be able to surrender and to join the Somali government.
All right, Abdulaziz Bello there for us in Mogadishu.